everyone, my name is Priyanka and welcome to my vlog. Today I'm going to talk about why you need to get better at doing nothing. When we try and do nothing in life and we procrastinate a lot, when we tell ourselves we had to finish that book that we were reading, or we had to go for that morning run that we never went to, or let's say we had to clean up a house, a small tiny task that you do every day, and yet you are slacking in these tasks because you feel like doing nothing, because you are mentally overstimulated, you are so tired, you are so overwhelmed with this life. We slack in the wrong areas. We don't understand that there is an art to doing nothing, and this is the art that I'm going to teach you today, where you do nothing and you get better at it. And because you are getting better at doing nothing, your life also gets better. But we have to first address one important thing about where you are going wrong, and that is when you do nothing, when you slack off, when you put off your tasks in life, when you put off the emotional healing that you needed to do in life. What happens is that it affects these three areas of your life. It affects your relationship, it affects your career, and it reflects the money that is in your bank. And today we are going to change all of that, because we are going to tackle this problem of doing nothing, because we've been doing nothing the wrong way. So there is a way in which you can do nothing and still get ahead in your life, and that is when you start fixing your life. Now what happens is that we try and fix our life on random occurrences. So these random occurrences that are not in our control, we try and fix those occurrences rather than working on the fixables. We don't pay attention to this one. And because we don't pay attention to the fixable part of our life, there is a gap. And because there is a gap, our mind gets overwhelmed. Mind questions everything. The mind can only cope to a certain stress level. Not aware of that, then you are just overwhelming that mind of yours. And because you get overwhelmed in life by the number of tasks that you need to do, you start fixing these random things. So you need to get clarity on the fixable part of your life. And this fixable part of your life is that you can eat clean food, you can sleep on time, you can exercise, and you can work upon your emotion healing. Now these random occurrences where you start fixing your life are the ones that are not in your control. You cannot control another individual in a relationship. You cannot control how they feel, how they behave with you. You can't do that, but you try and fix those parts. You are now fixing an individual rather than fixing yourself in a relationship. And let's say you are in a job that is not meant for you, and you keep on fixing that job of yours. You keep on doing lots and lots of projects, but your manager is not supporting you in all of the projects that you've taken up, and yet you are going ahead and trying to please that manager of yours, trying to take on lots and lots of projects. Rather, you should have been fixing the emotional baggage that you're carrying, fixing the path that you're on right now, rather than trying to do those projects, trying to waste your energy on those projects. You should have taken a step back and thought about where you are in life and what you can do to bring in lots of money and to have a career where you're enjoying it. You are waking up feeling happy and feeling excited about the day, but now you're waking up unhappy and trying to fix things in your life that are of random occurrences. So get down a list of things that you can fix in your life. So you can fix your daily routine, you can fix your thought process, and you can fix your emotions. These are the things. Everything that you can fix is right here in your mind. So understand it is your mind that you need to work upon. It is your thought process that you need to work upon. Once you do that, once you start working on your thought process, you will find that you have a lot of time to do nothing. You can sit back, you can have that vacation that you wanted in your life, you can enjoy this life of yours, you can enjoy the task given to you, because you have a lot of time, because you are not feeling overwhelmed, because you're not people pleasing, you're not wasting your time trying to control people, you're not wasting your time trying to understand why the world is behaving the way it is. Yes, there are lots of stresses in the world right now. Our world is going through a lot of tumultuous times. There are wars, then there is inflation, And lots of relationships are not working these days because the relationships are based on the internet. I say, like in old times, people used to spend a lot of time offline and used to understand each other, but everything is online right now, and sometimes this online thing doesn't work in real life. So what you need to understand is that you need to first fix your mind, and you can go and see a video that I've done on fixing your life. So what happens to people is that even though they're chilling, even though they're out partying, or they're with their friends, or they're exercising, something strikes them in their mind. That thought comes in, oh, I have to do this project of mine, it's pending, or I have to take care of the task that I've been delaying for months now. And that is why we need to understand how we can chill, how we can do nothing, how we can totally relax in this life. So, what we need to understand is that we lack discipline in our life. When we lack discipline in our life, when we don't take on our tasks on time, when we procrastinate, what happens is that we do a compounding thing. I have done a video on this where, you delay the task that you're doing, and what happens is those tasks multiply. And you have so many tasks pending that you cannot even chill, you cannot chill. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to get disciplined in life. And how you can get disciplined in life, it's very, very easy. So when the mind cannot tackle the task given to it, what it does is it procrastinates. It just lets go of the overwhelming feeling that it is feeling. And when you let go, you either binge watch TV or you binge eat, and yet you are still thinking. So how we can change that? We can change that by simply creating a small little task diary, and in that diary we can write down just 3 or 4 tasks that we need to do in that day. So what you can do is you can have a ratio of, let's say today I'm going to do 2 easy tasks and 1 difficult one, and then tomorrow I'm going to do 2 difficult tasks and 1 easy one. So you're giving yourself that relief. And once you get disciplined in life, you can chill. Now I've done all my tasks. I can sit back on the couch and I can surf the internet, or I can watch TV. I can go out with my friends without overthinking what all I need to do in life. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to get disciplined in life. Second is a stop process. Now what happens is that even though we've maintained a task diary, we have done our task, yet there are a lot of things that we keep thinking about how somebody said something to us, or how we have had a altercation with someone, or we're not doing well in a relationship, so we're overthinking, or we are still waiting for that interview call for our job, or there is an impending exam that's coming and we're still overwhelmed. So how do we do the stop process? What we do is we tell our mind that, for 1 hour, I'm going to stop processing whatever thoughts are coming to me. See, you cannot stop your thinking process. That thought process is going to come. Even if you sit in meditation, you're still going to think. So what you can do is you can step away from paying attention to those thoughts. Let them come, let them go. Keep on paying attention to the activity that you're doing. So let's say you're watching TV and yet you're thinking about how my neighbor spoke to me today. Okay, yeah, I'll just not pay too much attention to that. Or how my boss was rude to me today. Don't pay too much attention to that. So we have to learn the art of not paying attention to what is happening around us. Those thought processes will come. You cannot filter your thoughts, let them come, but don't pay attention to them, and just stop the process of paying attention to them. And once you do that, once you get into the habit of paying less attention to them while you're chilling, you will find that even when you're working, you are able to pay less attention to these intrusive thoughts of yours. Now let's come on to the third one, that is time out. Sometimes what happens is we want to chill, we want to take out time, but we take out time in the wrong way. What we do is rather than just finishing our tasks, we tell ourselves, just I'll give myself half an hour, 1 hour, and then I'll go and finish my task. But that half an hour, 1 hour delays everything in your life. It happens to everybody. It happens to me also. Like, I have a kid and I have a lot of work. So sometimes I tell myself, what? I'll just chill 1 hour before dinner time, and then I don't realize that the dinner time has gone past. The usual dinner time that we have in the family, and making dinner, and then I get overworked and overwhelmed because suddenly I have to finish everything on time. So what I do is I look at the clock in my room and I say to myself, okay, today I'm not going to give myself 1 hour before dinner time as a TV time. Today I'm going to sit only for 15 minutes and I'm going to choose what I'm going to watch, and that has to be a 15-minute program. So what I've done is I've gone and seen a small little vlog of someone, or let's say I've listened on to a podcast that is only 15 minutes long. Now I'm feeling good. Time out is not interfering with the task that I need to do in the day, and that is what you can do. So that timeout has to be timed. That is what I'm trying to tell you. You have to time that timeout, and once you do that, you will find that everything works well for you. You don't have to slack somewhere. You don't have to feel overwhelmed or overworked. So let's try and understand this aspect of our life. Whenever we are faced with a lot of threatening environment, what we do is we usually give up. We don't take a chance. Let's say you have an impending exam that's coming, or you have an interview, job interview, and you're feeling very, very anxious because everybody's telling you you need to do better. What happens is you stop preparing for that interview and that exam. When you were supposed to prepare for that interview and that exam, what you do is you give up. You start playing video games, you start surfing the internet. In fact, you go out of the house and you enjoy a time out with your friends, but you don't sit and study, and you don't sit and study for that interview or that exam. Now this is where you are not supposed to give up, but you give up easily because your mind is overwhelmed. Your mind, as I said, is not on stable ground. It is not able to process the information that is coming to it, because you have gathered too much information. Too much information is there in your mind. Now your computer is coding in a wrong code, and you have cultivated this habit of giving up because it's easier to give up than to do better for yourself, than to be present and to be there for yourself. How do we take our time to do nothing and still get better in life? Because now you're going to say to me that you're asking us to take a chance, you're not asking us to give up. But the whole idea of doing nothing is that you give up. No, the whole idea of doing nothing is that you take a chance. I'll tell you how. So if you give up, what happens is that you are now compounding that silly mistake. Mistake was right now at a score of 1. But what you do is when you give up, you increase that score to 10. It's like you keep on doing silly mistakes one after the other because you are not paying attention to the time and energy that is required into doing that task. So it is easier to take a chance. It's easier to own up to your mistakes. And you give up, you are taking away an opportunity from yourself to do better in life. And that is how you should look at it, because every time you give up just before an exam, just before an interview call, you're taking away an opportunity from yourself. And that is what you need to remind yourself, that I don't need to give up, I need to take a chance right now. So whenever you're faced with that dilemma, understand that that dilemma is coming because your mind is telling you that it was time for you to take a chance. But rather than taking a chance, you are giving up, because it's easier to procrastinate, it's easier to be lazy than to work upon that dream life of yours. And that dream life is going to come by doing nothing, because everything that you're doing is now being done on time. You're not feeling overwhelmed, you're not feeling overworked, you're not feeling overstimulated. You are now at a level where everything comes to you. You have an easy way in life, and that easy way can only come when you take a chance. How do we go about doing nothing and still get everything in this life? And that is where stopping this overthinking process, because once we start overthinking, we take on stress, we take on anxiety, and then because of the stress and anxiety, because we have so much of things that are not working out for us, we go through an identity crisis. And how do we stop that overthinking? We stop that overthinking. As I said, you stop the process, you don't pay attention to the unkind and unsavory, or let's say not useful thoughts. Let's say you're thinking things about that happened in the past 10 years back. Something happened to you, somebody said something to you, you reacted, or you had a fight with them. And now in present day, present moment, when you had too much of work coming in, too much of tasks coming into your life, what you do is you go back and you start thinking about what happened to you 10 years back. So that is what you need to do. You need to stop that overthinking process. And the best way to do that is to have a journal, because what you do is when you journal, when you write down your thoughts, you get an idea. You can see what all rubbish thoughts you're thinking, and if you start paying attention to your thought process, you will find that you have a lot of time, because most of your time and energy is going into overthinking. You're overthinking about people, you're overthinking about your past life experiences, you're overthinking about what is going to happen in the future. The best way to do nothing and still get everything in this life is to learn to process your emotions and to stable your mind. And once you do that, you will find that you have a lot of time and energy to take up new things and ideate on new things. And once you do that, you will find that your life is becoming better. Hope you liked my vlog. If you like my vlog, do like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. And thank you for watching. See you in the next one.